Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Hopefully my audio is coming through. And we're just going to take a little time to start our day out with some meditation, some good breathing, some relaxation, realization. There we go. I got a little bit of an ad going right now, so that's a perfect example of what we're talking about, to be able to take out those noises. Take out the noises in our life before the day starts, before all of these other things start to try to infiltrate their way into our day. Thank you, Major. This is a perfect time, if you have not yet, take your RCG, coffee. Scree and Kai have entered. Thank you so much. Come on in, guys. Take a few deep breaths with us. They're refreshing, relaxing, relieving, releasing, retrieving. Yes, Kai, give us that woo. Let's take a quick deep breath with that. Yes, indeed. Ooh. Remember our breathing. Scree taught us. We're going in for about 2, 3, 4 count, and we hold for 2, 3, 4, and exhale for 2, 3, 4, and hold that for 2, 3, 4. David, good morning. And if you know, I'm an advocate of being able to meditate from many positions. It does not have to be just a seated position like this. Coffee, how are you doing? The meditative state can also be in what some people find is what's called the runner's high. So there is many ways in which to find yourself in a state of almost subconscious thought in your conscience. YouTube didn't do me any favors just now, but that's okay. We're gonna go past all that. There we go. We'll just go without the music. How's everyone's day so far? Coffee, yeah. Um, Morning can have a lot of different meanings to them. Tomorrow it's going to be a morning quickie. Next 2 mornings we're going to have morning quickie. So we're going to have our quick calisthenics. But for now, we get to just take the time before the day really gets upon us and just get some breathing in and kind of discover what might be at the forefront, what weighs heaviest on our minds. What do we really need to take the time to stop and think about? Start to untangle some of the knots in our mind, start to take those pieces of the puzzle and start to fit them together so the large picture makes more sense. Give ourselves a little bit more clarity. This is all reflection. Look look within. That's where your answers are at. It's not a projection to ask why somebody else did this to me. We can't control what the external is, but we can control our internal about how we respond to the external, how we prepare for it the next time. This is thinking in a chess-like way. This is also having strategy when we think these things, when we think through things. We're not just solving that equation, but we're allowing that we prepare ourselves to solve the next equation as well. This is in the form of circumstances that may test our calm, people, lots of situations. How do we address some of these things? How do we learn to respond and not react? And I know that it's kind of a slang term now, where the new kids will say, it's your aura. But honestly, how do you change your aura, your true aura, not the slang? How do you change how people perceive you? How do you change that wavelength, that energy? It has to change from within. We have to look at things that may have happened to us, but how were we in these circumstances? And how do we change those circumstances? And this is the perfect time to have this ability to stop and think. Listen to how much quiet is around us. Sounds like an oxymoron to say listen to the quiet, but listen to the quiet. You can really have some thought when your senses aren't being pulled to random noises or notifications. Before the text messages start, before you have to check those work emails, before we jump into that social media melee and start defending the demographics which fit us more suitably, whether it's gender, ethnicity, nationality, political beliefs, sexual orientation, all of those man-made divides. Once we start fighting that, we start to take away from the fact that we're all still human. Insatiable, how are you? Dedicating time to sit in stillness helps cultivate self-awareness and moves your focus from how things look on the outside to quiet daily work of building emotional maturity and resilience. Absolutely. Hacksaw, good morning. How are you? Fred, good morning. 55-degree cornfields. There's meditation to be found out just walking cornfields. And we're still breathing. We're still getting that good breathing. And we all have something different that we would solve as an equation, but the methods in which we go about it can be very similar, such as breathing deeply, looking to the inside, reflect upon our thoughts, reflect upon our actions, our decisions, our choices. Fred says none of us will make it out of this world alive, so make the best of the time that you have. Absolutely, Fred. And that speaks to leaving things better than we found them. What will be your truest impact? And the quiet can also be accompanied with darkness. The first time I did, I sat in the garage and put like a towel down where all the cracks at the door were at and just sat in darkness. Silence and darkness are very much the same. It's void of other things that might distract us. Light and sound can often be distracting. Be kind and having forgiveness will start you on an incredible journey. Yes, and just to piggyback off of Fred's statement there, forgiving yourself is where this starts. Forgive yourself, truly forgive yourself. Apologies, I've always said, are two of the hardest things to do is to apologize and often to accept apology because there's this giant blockade, often called ego, that stands in our way. The ego to say, no, I wasn't wrong, I'm not apologizing. Or the ego to say, I'd rather keep that person feeling punished, so I'm not going to accept their apology. In either instance, we hold ourselves back. And there's an old Dr. King saying, to hold a man down, you have to stay down with him. And we often do that not only to the people around us, but we do it to ourselves. And therefore, we leave ourselves void of growth, stunted. Be kind and forgive yourself. It's not selfish. It's selfless. It allows us to free ourselves from burden of guilt. And that way we can repair and recover and reemerge as the best version of ourselves for other people. And you may be able to hear some of the birds have awoken. And there's some crickets in the background. And sounds of nature can often be calming as well. So when we talk about external noise, that's not necessarily sound, things that we hear. Some of the things that we hear can actually be an aid to our state of relaxation. Sounds that are natural. And sometimes that noise is not just sound, it's distraction. What are we allowing to scramble our wavelengths? What kind of signals from the outside world are we willing to receive? It's not just about what our ears hear. Because all of this goes back to our brain. What are we allowing? What are we filtering out? What do we understand is not meant for us to consume if we care to have a healthy existence? Many of those arguments amongst divided demographics are not healthy. Nisi, good morning. That's noise. Just because we see it on a screen, it's still noise. The things and the people that we're willing to entertain that need to be expelled from our lives, that's noise. It's not just sound. It's not a loud car or a loud radio or people yelling, dogs barking. That's not noise. That's a loud sound, but what distracts us is noise from our internal. When we can't hear what our subconscious, what our soul, when we can't hear that, good breathing. Take a deep breath in, 2, 3, 4, and we'll hold it. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold that. 2, 3, 4. And again, we can go in different positions. So we can go to our cadaver or prone position. And I can hear cars as the day starts. But those aren't distractions. I acknowledge that those are part of the external. I accept that that's part of the environment, but I'm not distracted by it. Our distractions are often our own choices, the things we consume in our mind, bodies, and souls. Good breathing, relaxation. Quiet time for reflection. There's that meditation in just sitting in a quiet house having that coffee before the day starts, or your tea, before the kids get up, before the dog needs walking, again, before that phone starts going off, before the neighbor starts mowing their yard. We can be void of sound and noise. And in this position, if I didn't have all the lights off and it was still a distraction, I would take a towel or a shirt and put it over my eyes again so I would be in the darkness and the quiet. We stay mindful of the breathing. Again, so much good in those breaths. Clarifying breaths. Cleansing. And every so often I'll grab like a really big one like I just did. Again, some people call this quiet time for thought, prayer, affirmation, here, meditation. Sometimes we call it RCG, but it's all tied together in the act of deep thought to give ourselves some positivity and guidance to our values. All right. Vincent, what's going on? Marvelous. Miguel is in the house. Fantastic. I appreciate you guys joining. Let's take a little time. We've got that breathing now, and we'll get a little motion with it. Young male wolf, how are you today? Come on in. We appreciate you guys joining us. Dova, thank you so much. Nate, yes, indeed, Nate. Meditation this morning. I'm grateful you're here. Let's get a little stretching with this. So we're going to turn that head to the side, and we're going to again inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Hopefully you're feeling some tension going away as we inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And I'm turning my neck a little bit more. We're just holding to let it release. Inhale, exhale. One side is tighter than the other. So that's showing me that I'm a little imbalanced, and that's okay. That's why we're here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Dova, I love to hear that. Thank you for sharing. How are things with the business? Inhale, exhale. And I should note there's nothing wrong with being out of balance. Inhale, exhale. But what we want to be able to do is accurately identify and help rectify that circumstance. Inhale, exhale. Double congratulations. Inhale, exhale. Very nice, very nice. Major has given us yoga breathing or pranayama. Translates to deliberate breath control. Practicing it regularly triggers your body's parasympathetic nervous system to quickly lower the heart rate and ease anxiety. Guys, what we're talking about is bringing down what's often called fight or flight to be able to be calm in the moment. And when we're talking about controlled breathing, Boz, welcome, mate. Boz knows about controlled breathing. Boz is doing his boxing, and that is a state of being meditative. As you are floating, your mind body connection, your energy is specific, and it is controlled through breathing. Good to see you, brother. Let's roll the neck. I'm going to start here, and it's the same thing. I just roll, and I'm exhaling, coming down. Inhale, exhale. Yes, indeed, Boz. Yes, indeed. How are things with the family? Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And being that Boz practices combat sports, he knows, like we all know, or should have been told, this is about focus. This is about visualizing. And that's where meditation comes in. Visualize. If you're fighting, especially, and can't control your breathing, you gas out and get erratic. Yes, Boz, life is beautiful. Thank you for asking. Guys, this is about focus. And again, reacting and responding are two different things. Reacting will get you out of breath because you hadn't pre-planned, you hadn't conditioned yourself. Respond tells us that we have had the focus, we've had the preparation, the planning. Inhale, exhale. And again, the tensions are there. So we're working them physically out as we are untangling the knots in our mind. Mind, body, and soul. And again, one side of my neck is often tighter than the other. Imbalance is to be expected, but to be able to identify it and rectify it is the goal. Is the goal. And because we have so much tension that we carry in our neck and shoulders, it's important. It's important to give this time to your body. And again, canceling the noise. Noise is not sound. It's not a loud car. It's not a loud radio. It's what we allow into our minds, our subconscious. How do we quiet that noise? How do we end those never-ending arguments and debates? Recently, in the last 10 years, maybe 5, 10 years, there's that question that people ask outside of themselves. What do you bring to the table? And the question is, what do you bring to your own table? Dax, good morning. Brian, how are you, brother? What are we bringing to our own table? Because at the end of the day, when nobody else is around, that table is still meant to seat at least one, and that's you. What do you bring for yourself? Integrity and humbleness. Brian, give me one more. Tell me three things. Guys, three things. I like that. Brian gives integrity, humbleness. Give me three, guys. I am an advocate to tell yourself three things. Why? Because pyramid or triangle is a very structured and strong symbol to have 3 points. Same as our mind, body, soul. When we are raising our children through school, we talk about teacher, parent, child connection in threes. In threes. I know, Brian, to be a man of integrity, humbleness, and honor. I agree with those things. I agree with those things, guys. Three things. And that three are things that Brian pointed out that he is of, that he sees in himself, that he can define without delusion, that he can say, I have put this into action, that I have done it before, I am currently doing it, and I am still planning on doing it. That's three things that are not steeped in delusion, reality, because with the delusion, it doesn't allow us to face sometimes deficiencies or where we can improve, and those aren't bad things. Those aren't bad things, but it has to come from within. You have to be able to look at yourself and say, this is where I need to change, or this is where I can continue to grow on this path. Barbara, how are you this morning? Paul, how are you doing? Good to see you. Brian, thank you for that. Here we go. I don't know why my chat acts weird every so often, but that's okay. Yes, Paul, we are just enjoying some morning meditation. I'm glad you were able to make it. We've been talking about reflecting rather than projecting, looking to our inside, looking within for answers, to quiet the noise in our lives. Brian, you've been a good example for many, myself included. And to continue down that path, we appreciate you. And this is where we should be able to thank ourselves at the end of the day. We thank other people around us for doing, hey, good job today, great game, thanks for helping out. But do we stop to thank ourselves? It's not selfish. We deserve the rewards too for putting in that work, for putting in that mindfulness, that focus, that intention. We deserve that too. I'm going to just cross one arm across the other and put my hand on the shoulder to start, and then I'm going to start across the other, and I can walk my fingers back. And it's a great stretch, but it's also like that self-hug. Walking those fingers back, getting as much out of that as I can. And I'm going to slowly come out of that. Now I'm going to switch my hands. So I change their order. The self-hug stretch is a highly effective beginner front that releases tension in your upper back, shoulders, and traps. Thank you, Major. And again, still those nice, relaxing breaths. Good, we'll slowly release that. Excellent. Let's take a little time to turn the body. So I'll take that hand, put it behind myself, and I'm just going to turn. And if I can get my hand to this knee, that's great. There's some turn in that. If I can get it all the way to my hip, that is great as well. And again, I can continue to turn my neck. Good. I'm going to bring this hand up and around and place it behind me. I can kind of push that chest out, get a little stretch in my pecs, in my shoulders, in my back. I can push the chin up. I can feel that stretch through my biceps as well. Excellent. Now I'm going to turn and bring my stretch to this other side, my supine twist. And again, turn my neck. Good. I'm going to bring it back. Seated reach behind torso twist is highly effective stretch for improving spinal mobility, releasing mid-back tension, and engaging the obliques. Yes. Thank you, Major. Indeed. We're going to lean forward into this. So we went from side to side. We want to balance out again and reset to the center. Nice deep breathing. And this is something that I'm feeling with my chin down on my chest. I can feel it through my neck, my upper back, the center of my back, my lower back, my hips, my glutes. It's a great posterior chain. Calm, relaxing breaths. And as I relax, I can stretch out a little more. And come up nice and easy. And I'm going to go straight back and extend my legs. Yes, Nisi, indeed. That deep release. Let's take the time just to grab the toes, or if you can just grab the ankles, wherever you can get to. And I believe I've shared before that you have the ability, to take something like a towel or a shirt, and you can put that around your feet if you can't reach them. That allows you to hold that, allows you to explore that real good stretch. I keep my head down, my chin on my chest, and again, I can feel everything from my neck down to my ankles. Everything is in a state of stretch, release, and relief, recovery. Stretching promotes muscle growth, development, prevents injury. Take those nice deep breaths. And see if you don't start to feel what Nisi was just describing as the release. As the body starts to realize it's not under duress, it's just relaxing. I can feel my neck, my upper back, my shoulders, hamstrings, and calves have all loosened up. There's just that one small spot in the middle of my back, and that's okay. I've gotten so much. Incredible. Incredible. Colby, how are you doing? Carlos, good morning. Yes, Nisi, we will be back. We will be back. Are you going to be able to join us? I'm going to stretch out this way, guys. We're going to stretch out here. And we're just going to sit. Tashana, how are you doing this morning? We're just going to sit. And again, nice deep breathing. And allow our body acclimates to the position we're putting it in. So it will start to just loosen up on its own. But we're going to take those deep, recovering, relieving, releasing breaths. Yes, Nisi, are you going to go live today? And normally, as you know, one leg is tighter than the other, which it still is. But from all of this wonderful stretching and relaxing, this is a lot less tense than it normally is. So I have the ability to lean forward just a little bit. I have that ability to lean. And if we need to, as we're feeling that, just take those hands and put them out there for support. We can support ourselves through stretching. We don't have to, we should not be forcing anything. Just letting it unlock as it goes. And you'll feel it. You'll feel it. Sometimes it takes longer than others. Some days it takes longer than others. Depends what we are recovering from as we go through this rest process. But those deep breaths to relax. We're not just trying to force ourselves to stretch. We need to relax the mind, the body, and the soul. That's when we start to unlock. That's when flexibility, pliability start to come into play. Now I can start to bring myself down to my elbows. I've allowed a little to unlock. Nisi, what time are you going live so we can check you out? And again, guys, good breathing. Deep breaths in the nose, out the mouth. And once again, this is a little tight, but as we just ease into it. I'm going to ease my way out just a little more. There we go. In fact, I finally see results in my body. I can see the push-ups all of my shoulders. I worked so hard, it's finally paying off. Yes, fantastic. Fantastic, Nisi. We've been watching. We've been watching the work you've been putting in. And it's exceptional. Fantastic. Thank you for being an example. So, before I get myself down really low, I'm going to put a fist on top of a fist here, and I can put my forehead on top of that. This is just like a yoga block would be. It's just something that supports where I'm at. Nisi, your work has been remarkable to watch. Thank you for sharing it with us. And the great part is that's just the beginning. Okay, so now I'm going to go one hand flat on one fist, so it allows me to come down just a little bit lower. I can come down just a little bit lower, feel that good unlocking through both my legs, through my lower back, through my hips, and it is from the breathing and relaxing my mind. Flexibility is quite important, quite important. Where I'm going now, we're going to do both hands. We're going to flatten out both hands. Nisi, that is okay. That is okay. We'll just make those, we'll put those reports in a nice scrapbook that we can look back on. So I am forehead on both of my hands. And again, we're just letting each state relax, each level. Nice deep breathing. And very important, relax. Just relax. And my elbows are definitely providing support. So when I'm ready, I can just come on out here. I have nose and forehead to the mat. But you see how we did it in stages. I couldn't have just rushed right in. That would have been painful, it would have caused harm, which would have been setback. Now I can come on up. Oh, beautiful stuff. Beautiful. Oh. Major is a great educator, and we are beyond fortunate to have him here. And if we don't get necessarily a whole foot rub, we can still, while in the butterfly stretch the feet. We can still stretch our feet out. No worries, Brian. No worries at all. I'm going to come back to the center for just a moment and feel how much looser I am now. Excellent. We're just stretching, Brian. We've just gone through unlocking our body through different stages and breathing. I'm going to go ahead and cross this leg over. And like I always say, as this shin bone right here is meant to connect and lock in place with that bend of your elbow. So we have the ability to really get that deep hug and squeeze. And I can lock hands over here to hold that. And just feel more of that hip, that lower lumbar. Very, very needed stretch. And if I can keep this by myself, I can take this hand and place it behind me again and really engage in that turn. Okay, I'm going to come back. I'm going to keep this leg bent. And just reaching out. Nice deep breaths. All right, we're going to come on up. MOP, what's going on? We're just going to switch nice and easily. Cross this over. And again, for those who can, remember your shin locks right in place here. If you're not able to make this, that is fine. I would put my hand just here on the calf to help as I turn. We're all different stages and ages. MOP, how are you doing today? Nice through the hip, getting the lower back, areas that are important to stretch out and keep flexible, keep functional through mobility as well. And again, I can continue to turn this more if I like. Excellent. We'll come on back. Took the RCG. Fantastic. Thank you, Tashana. Thank you so much. The seated single leg toe touch variation or half forward fold is an excellent stretch to safely improve the flexibility of your hamstrings, calves, and lower back. That is good stuff. Thank you, Major. Here we go, guys. Mm. Excellent. Excellent. Fantastic. Brian, Greg, how are you doing? Guys, Greg has an amazing wrestling channel and he's putting in a lot of hard work. Good to see you. For those who can, let's get ourselves into just a kneeling position. Mm. This was one of those stretches that when I first started meditation and yoga and just stretching like this, when I would get into this position, my ankles would just go pop, pop, and it's lessened over time. You are proof no matter the size, you can still stretch the muscles. Sneezy, thank you so much. Guys, flexibility is for everybody. Flexibility is for everybody. And honestly, the bigger the muscles, the more you should be stretching. We should all be stretching. We should all have some flexibility, pliability. But as people intentionally add muscle through things like weightlifting and athletics, we definitely want to make sure that we are more flexible. Average man can't touch their toes impact. Oh, here we go. Let's go forward, guys. What a beautiful morning. Just to sit and stretch. So I'm going to transition from my hands on my side to right out front. And with my chin to my chest, I'm really feeling it through my scapula, through my neck. Good stuff. We're going to go into that cat and cow. Go into the cat and cow. Good spinal flexing. So we're going to push that belly down, Down, down like an old cow. Head up as we inhale. Then we'll exhale and push the belly button up towards the spine. Really arch that back like a cat. See when a cat does its stretching? Let's come back down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Nisi, I don't get on the inversion table too often because we do so much other stretching that I feel okay. But I may have to bring that out. We're going to go one more. I'm going to turn just a touch, and I'm going to show you why. Inhale. And then when we exhale, we're going to push up, or we're going to push past the cat, or we're going to go into a downward facing dog. So we have the heels pressed into the ground. Yeah, Nisi, I do so many other stretches that my spine doesn't often feel compressed. And I will do things like just put my palms on the heel of the bathroom counter or the kitchen counter and hold myself up so my spine decompresses. It's not quite the same, but it still feels good. Here we go. We're going to dip down and come on up into that yoga. Brian, yes, for sure. And Brian, if you can just sit in that deep squat for 2 minutes at a time, it's going to help decompress a lot. And driving is tough, guys. That's why I say sedentary gets a bad name because we associate it with things like playing video games or just eating poor foods. But no, it's a lot of people sitting at office jobs, a lot of people driving, and some people who don't have the ability to move because of something medical or debilitating. There we go. I'm going to lay it flat for just a moment. NFL play day video. Greg, it was part of the coaching. Mhm. Part of the coaching. Yes, Nisi is right, Brian. Make sure you're getting massages. Yep. Yes, indeed. So this is a legitimate position. I'm not just being lazy. Taking the time to let the body stay in that state of relaxation. And we can also turn the head. Thanks for checking that out, Greg. We had a good time doing those. I'm going to bring myself up. Lying flat on your stomach is an excellent foundation for yoga-based relaxation and stretching. It helps ground your body, relieve stress, and provides gentle compression to your abdominal organs. Thank you, Major. Indeed. So we're going here, a little bit more of that hip. Get that pigeon stretch. And again, you can hold yourself up through support here. And I like to turn myself here. Here, I'm still kind of face across this way. I like to try to line up my sternum with my knee. And so I can feel that twist in my lower back. And if I need to, I can reach across as well and really get a nice stretch. Deep breathing, relaxation of the mind and body and soul. And sometimes we can take that elbow and go across the knee, or just bring ourselves and lay flat out. There we go. Greg, subscribe to MOP. Nice. The pigeon is highly effective for relieving hip stiffness and tension caused by prolonged sitting. Brian, this is for you, my friend. We're going to swap it out. We're going to swap it out. Oh. And again, feel the individual sides. Feel that my hip isn't tight, but I'm just aware that it's stretching. Getting an excellent stretch this morning. And again, you have options as to how much you want to turn, staying up, and even leaning down forward. I like to work my way into that lean forward. And that occasional really deep breath feels really good. Come on up. Greg, I tore my hip flexor last soccer season. Ever since then, I've been implementing these stretches before workouts. Absolutely. Absolutely. You gotta, at all stages and ages of athleticism, when we are asking our bodies to perform at a high level. Oh. So we're just sitting in this spread here. And we can rock back and forth in and out of it, or we can move the hips back and then bring them back forward. And go into that rock if we wanted to. Ooh. Yeah, Brian, get that pop in the lower back, guys. Get that pop. It's just releasing air and some gases in between your joints, and as long as you're not experiencing pain, generally you may work up to a point where it's less prevalent over time through continued stretching. Like I said, my ankles used to pop really loudly when I first started doing all this. And there's no rep count for this. This is just how are we feeling as far as are we feeling some looseness through the groin, adductors, abductors, hips, lower back. And if you feel comfortable, you can work your way just to kind of sit in this position. But again, guys, everything is work up to it. Yes, this is the Impact Athletics Association. Beautiful stuff. Let's walk ourselves into our deep squat here. Give ourselves a couple minutes there. Brian, this is the squat that I was talking about. And if you can just sit in this for a couple minutes throughout the day, you can get a couple few of these just to really stretch things out. And it might be good to couple with maybe a minute or two of in-place jogging to get those calves pumping blood from where they've just been sitting, not circulating well. So get in a quick minute jog in place. So the calves start pumping that blood throughout the body. We're also getting some of the lymphatic draining. You're getting balance, mobility, circulatory, and then drop yourself down into this squat for 2 minutes. And about the time that the average person probably spends just taking a quick trip to the restroom, you could do the same thing as far as stretching. And depending on your work environment, how your boss is, things like that, you might be able to just do it at your desk. Yes, Brian, for sure. Nisi was generous enough to note that we're doing some things that are quite different than some other places. And to her point, there was no shade in saying, we could do 1,000 burpees and things like that. But it's not. It's a compliment. It's a deep, deep compliment that has really given me a good boost of feel good as to what we're accomplishing here. And that's the goal, is to do something different, to do something that it's in the title, athletics. Brian, you're more than welcome. This is about athletics. This is about functional, not just being an athlete as far as playing a sport, but being an athlete in life. Being able to pick up your kids, not just pick up a ball. Being able to carry the groceries, not just farmer walk for strongman contests. Being able to do things that allow us to be functional and the best version of ourselves for those around us. And as we are those things physically, it can't help but manifest and we feel better. So it's mental, and that will drain into that soul part, mind, body, and soul. Easy. we we found we found each other. We have a good thing. I'm grateful for you. Brian says, Nisi, I have a foam roller. That's as close as a massage as I'll get. Yeah, the massage isn't a bad idea if you can find somebody in your area. Here we go. I'm going to go for a little bit of that pigeon. Ew, that felt good. That felt good. Let me see. I think I might have a foam roller out here. Thought that I did. I thought that I did. Maybe I don't. I've got a couple of them sitting around. But foam rollers are great. I do. I found it. I see it. This one isn't particularly foam, but it's a roller. But it is a roller. So I won't keep us long. But this is the type of roller. It's got a lot of knobbies on it. So it's kind of like a little massage, acupressure. You can all get a tennis ball to roll up and down your back, up against the wall. Yes. So I will take this and just do some of that. Brian's got one exactly the same. Fantastic. So just something as simple as this. So getting a lot of that hamstring. You can take it also, and I've done it on my quads as well. The tennis ball is amazing. Rolling pin, yes. The rolling pin is the original, yes. Just like it's rolling out dough, kneading the dough and all that stuff. That is, just imagine that being muscles. But this one, with each little knobby, I can feel it kind of like a masseuse, kind of like a massage. The one thing you want to be careful. Yes, I don't. This is through Athletic Works, so I probably got it at Walmart. That's the company. I'm not an ambassador for them, but that's where I got it. The one thing we got to be careful though is rolling on your side here. Be mindful not to like start crushing like the sciatica nerve. That can be more painful than anything. So I'm more angled this way rather than straight down the side. We want to be mindful of that. So it's a careful stretch to have. And sometimes I won't put my full body weight on it either. We want to be careful. They aren't expensive. Walmart has them with a whole pack. Nice. So yeah, we can definitely get the roller. And the one thing you can also do with these, let me turn off my alarm. Oop, is you can take it and just lay on it and kind of stretch out the back too. So right by the bands, yes. So we can take this. This might be a little stiff for some. So it might be a little stiff, but just to lay like so. And you don't have to really rock back or forth.
but it just allows kind of like that stretch. Now a foam roller, the softer ones might be good, but to Nisi's point, you could also do a tennis ball up and down a wall. So you're almost getting squats in as you kind of acupressure this thing around on your back. But I'm sure you could try to get a little roll. And this, to me, this feels good with my neck like so. So plenty of options. I'm going to see what that looks like to turn it. And can I get a... Ooh, I got a bunch of pops like that. And there we go. We're just going up. Guys, this is part of that rest. Even though we're working, this is still a huge part of recovery. And I can go all the way up. Just be careful on the neck, and it's pulling me dreads. It's pulling my locks. So make sure your hair is up too if you've got long hair. And this is honestly a good hamstring curl as well. If you're able to get your body all the way out, it's good core as well. And then I'm pulling my body weight on this roller. And we're getting a little push too. So there's push-pull with this. There's the pull with the hamstring, and then I'm pushing with the quads and the hips. Is it a ton of weight? No, but we are controlling our bodies. So all sorts of options. MOP, absolutely. You're more than welcome, guys. This is what we're here for. And when I keep, when I don't want to sound like I'm downing other people, to Nisi's point, respectfully, we could do the push-ups all day. We could do the Mike Tysons. We could do the burpees. We know what we've done. We've done 1,000 push-ups. We've done 1,000 jumping jacks. We've done infinite amounts of Mike Tysons, all of those things. So what else is there? What else is there for us as athletes? Because each one of you are an athlete. Different stages, but each one of you is an athlete in your own right. And we get to explore what that means for us. We get to explore what that means, so we're not just bodies, mind, body, and soul. We are thinking athletes. We're moving. We're functional. We're insightful, mindful, meditative, strategic, and able to execute. So we have gotten an incredible amount done this morning. My game plan is to probably charge up a little bit, get some hydration, and then grab my bands and get to the park. So I don't want to hold you guys all day, but that's the game plan, is to get some back stuff, a little back and bicep stuff. Nate is in the house. What's going on, Nate? One of my classes is stretch therapy, so y'all teaching me. Fantastic, Nisi. And you know what we're looking forward to is what you bring back from that class and that therapy. How can we continue to improve and excel through the Impact brand? Thank you so much. This has been another quality broadcast from the Impact Athletics Association. Thank you so much. Brennan, did you get your free 50 joules from YouTube? I have not heard anything about that, my friend. But we would love to have your subscription. That would be awesome. And feel free to join us. Feel free to join us, guys. Beautiful. Oh my God. Who is anybody feeling much looser from this? Is anybody feeling much looser? We started off with meditation and we got into some yoga, some stretching. Man, Nate, we just had an incredible. Nisi's calling for the Impact FM radio. Yes, indeed. Guys, we've had a good stretch this morning. We got a whole lot of meditation. We actually got to see the sun come up on this amazing Saturday morning. So we appreciate you being here at WBRX, Impact Athletics Association. Like we like to say, it's the bricks. Yes, indeed. This goes out to Screed LED. We got Nate out on the East Coast, and we got Major Hurry in the house. We appreciate you guys being here, and we are looking forward to what Nisi Poo has to bring in form of therapy and stretching. So, guys, stick around, and we will see you guys very soon. Indeed. Tran, what's going on? Tran found that emoji. I'm loving it. I love, yes, guys, we put in our OMMM. So just like we have the breathing, Om. OMMM, our morning mindful meditation. We got the Om. WBRX, indeed. Indeed. So what we're looking at, guys, is reconvening. Not too long before the day really gets upon us. So if you can join for some back stuff, that would be great. If you can't, I understand, but thank you for being here. Thinking of the old Ninja Turtles on VCR tapes, we are Splinter, yes, indeed. And we all like pizza. I believe that was one of the things. Trent, can you make it back here? Can you make it back here in a little while? Nate, what do you got going on? Can you make it back as well? Nisi, will you be able to join us? Scree, what do you got going on? We'd love for you all to be here. Brian, I know Brian's got some sleep to get. Brian needs to get some sleep. Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds. Nate, another sick night, coach. Uh-oh. Can't wait to hear about it. Tread, fantastic. You're looking good in green. You are looking good in green. What was that movie, Pretty in Pink? We got great in green. Nisi, I'll be there. All right, Nate. You got 30-30. There we go. Well, let's take the time to go get hydrated. Let's take the time to just embrace ourselves, guys. Thank that version of you that showed up. And as the day gets going, start to greet those around you. Give them a good morning. Give them a good morning hug. They might be like, huh? What are you doing? Still got morning breath. That's okay. That's okay. Give it to them anyways. That's the birthstone. Nice. Okay. Well, let's get down to it. Let's get up out of here, guys. It was morning meditation and yoga, so I will spare you all the song and everything else, and we will just let's see. Do we have a we should have an impact chant. We have Kai gave us the woo. So we will finish with the woo. So guys, we'll see you guys soon. Woo. Beautiful. Much love to each and every one of you, and we'll see you soon. Can't wait.